All right, thank you, Leonard. All right, fine. So basically at DeeMICH, we focus on data science, data analytics, data engineering, business analysis. And with time, we'll break all of these things down so that you can all have an idea. Thank you, Olamide. So that we can all have an idea of what all of these things means. Also, before I start my presentation, some things are very important. I used to tell my students that if you are coming to class, even if it is 10, 15, 20 minutes, I want to have your attention. Why? So that you can gain something and you can have something that will give you value for your time. I used to tell people, even if you're not in class, it is better you are sleeping. If you are sleeping, you know that you are resting your mind. But if you're in class and you are not concentrating, you are wasting your time, you are wasting our time. So to get value for our time, please, I want to implore us to listen attentively. And the only way to explain this or to be ensure that you are listening is when you ask me questions, when you engage, so that you can all be on the same page. I just don't want to speak, 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 speak. I want it to be an interactive session so that as I am talking, you also talk. If I say something, you ask questions so that all of us can have value for our time. So as Adiza rightly said, my name is Adekunle. I had a civil engineering background from Lautech. I finished in 2014, about 9 years ago, and I also had my master's in Coventry University, United Kingdom. Before I transited into tech, I have a 3 years experience in business analysis, and I hope that you would enjoy this class with me. So I am going to share my screen so that we can start.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So during the course of the presentation of the facilitator, if you have any question, you can just put them in chat box or probably you write it down. And we definitely have a question time where you can ask your question. And if you have any concern that you need to draw the attention of the facilitators to, you can just make use of the raise hand button. So I think our facilitator is back. You can have the floor, Mr. Dekunle.
All right, thank you very much. Can you confirm if you can see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So I
Yes.
will be
Yes, we can.
taking you through understanding the roles and responsibilities of a business analyst. Before I go ahead, have you ever heard of this thing, business analyst? Do you have any idea? Does anyone know what it means that want to talk or want to share? Any idea? No idea. All right, fine. That is why you are here. You want to try? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. You all agree with me that the world is evolving. We are changing from the conventional and traditional ways of doing things. So in today's ever-changing business world, the role of a business analyst is essential more than ever before. Because a business analyst play a very crucial role, serving as a pivotal link between the stakeholders and the technology teams to improve operational efficiencies. I'm going to break all of this thing down. Starting from the very first line, we all know everything is changing. Before, if we go to a supermarket, it used to be a traditional way of doing things. You pay with cash, they record it with biro and paper. Today, they are using point of sale. Everything is changing. So a business analyst now serves as a crucial link, joining the stakeholders and the technology teams. By saying the stakeholders, we mean everybody that is concerned with a project. We talk about the business owner, we talk about the employees, we talk about the customers. All of these people are regarded as stakeholders. Then the IT teams, those that are into tech, the real tech, those are into coding, app development, web development. So these are the technology teams. Do you now agree with me that in many organizations, all of these stakeholders, they might not likely have an idea, they might not likely have the full knowledge and understanding of the IT world. A business analyst now serves as the middleman between these stakeholders and the IT teams. So they get information from the stakeholders, from the business owner, from employee. They communicate it to the IT team and vice versa, so that they can bridge the gap of understanding that exists or that may exist between the stakeholders and the IT teams. I want to believe I am communicating. So let's continue. I hope you will still get more understanding of it. Who is a business analyst? A business analyst is a professional whose job is to analyze business process, systems, data, and identify gaps, problems, and areas of improvement, and then recommend solutions for improved efficiency. Now, what do I mean by this? Efficiency is, how do I explain it in a very simple term? Okay, efficiency is this. I have a shop where I sell biscuits. Ordinarily, I'm supposed to sell 100 per day. But because people come to my shop and they experience a very long queue, so majority of people will go back, then maybe I will sell 60 or 50. I am not efficient enough. So a business analyst will now come to my shop, analyze this process. Okay, what's the process that involved in my shop? A customer will come in, the customer will go and look for what they want to buy. Or let's say, okay, I have an hospital. One thing about business analysis is you can work in any field, you can work in any firm. But I'm trying to use examples that will make it very, very simple so that you can have a full understanding. So let's assume I have an hospital. And as I've set up my hospital, I'm supposed to attend to 50 customers in a day. The customers are complaining about long waiting time. So when they come, patients will go. So let's now assume that my process involves, okay, patients will come, you go to the reception, you get your card, you go to where they will take your data before you see a doctor. Now, these processes are being slowed down, and I want to digitalize it so that I can improve my efficiency. And I say, okay, instead of you coming to reception and then the receptionist will go to the shelf and start looking for your card, just give me your card number, I'll put it on the system. I have a system that you understand. So that is optimizing or improving our efficiency. Now, I am a medical doctor. I don't know anything about IT. But there are some people that their area of specialization is building application, building web. So as a business analyst, my job is now how to serve as a gap between this doctor and the people in the IT industry, or the people that will write application, that will do web application and all of those things. So that is a major responsibility of a business analyst. I want to believe I am communicating. So as I've written here, they analyze business processes. So when they come to my hospital, they will say, okay, this is the process flow. Customer will come, they will line up, they will do this. They will take data. Okay, how many minutes does a customer spend from here to here? 20 minutes. From here to here, 1 hour. This 1 hour is where we are having challenges. This is where our customers are going back. This is where we are not having optimized efficiency, you understand? So they will take this data, they will now identify the gaps, the problems. Okay, this is where we are having problem. This is where we need to improve. Then they recommend solutions to improve efficiency. So business analysts, they bridge the gap between the business stakeholders and the IT team, like I've earlier explained. So the stakeholders will now be, I'm still going to use that hospital example. So the stakeholders will now be the owner of the hospital, maybe the doctor, maybe the nurses, all of those things. Stakeholders will also include patients that are coming to the hospital. So they gather information and data from all of these people. They analyze it. They document requirements. As we go ahead, we'll talk about requirements. We'll talk about user requirements. We'll talk about system requirements. We'll talk about business requirements and all of those things. Then communicate with stakeholders. So business analysts typically work on a wide range of projects. Like I've earlier told you, you can work on in any industry and on any kind of projects. It includes software development, process improvements, and other initiatives that involve changes to an organization operation. So basically, you will all agree with me that as the world is going digital, if you are not following that trend in your businesses, in your organization, then you are living in the past. Everything is now going digital. And that is why a business analyst is a very, very important role. I can assure you, there is no industry that you cannot work. There is no industry that you cannot work. Because just name that industry that is not trying to digitalize everything. Name it today. From hospitals, from to supermarket, filling station. Let's now not talk about banking industry, uh, anything, e-commerce, all of those things, just name it. Everybody is going digital. So a business analyst is to serve as a bridge between the IT team and the stakeholders. So a business analyst are critical in developing and designing project requirements. Like I earlier told you, we'll still get to where we'll talk about uh, project requirements. They conduct feasibility studies and ensuring that businesses' objectives are accomplished by making effective use of technology and resources. Now, every businesses, every organization, they have their objectives. They have their core values. They have what they promise to deliver to their customers. They have what they have promised to deliver to their customers and those that patronize them. So, as a business analyst, because of the world that is changing, so this role is critical to develop and design requirements that can actually make them to effectively use technology to achieve their objectives. Because the conventional and traditional ways of doing things is no longer working, and we also have to move as the trend moves. So to ensure the successful implementation of business solutions, they frequently collaborate with project managers, developers, and other stakeholders. To effectively understand and address complex business difficulties, business analysts must have strong analytical, problem solving, and interpersonal skills. I'm still going to delve into this in detail. So, to give a small recap of what business analyst is all about. So, a business analyst is a bridge or is one that bridge the gap between business requirements and technological capabilities. So, they work with stakeholders to understand business objectives, to elicit requirements, and to transform them into functional specifications. So to break all of these things down into simple English that everybody will understand, a business analyst is just a bridge between the stakeholder and the IT team so that they can ensure a successful transition into a digital and more optimized world. Do we understand? Please, let's
Yeah.
talk. Do we
Yes, I
understand?
Yes,
follow.
yes, yes,
Okay.
we do.
Okay, so I want to know if you're following or not. So in just let's say a simple sentence or one line sentence, drop it in the chat box. What do you understand by a business analyst now? I haven't said all of these things that I've said. Just one line. What do you understand, or if you need to talk about a business analyst, what can you talk about? Just one line. What can you say about it? Please use the chat box so that I can see how many people are following. We have about 35 persons in the class. Do we know how to use the chat box? Hello. Yeah, do we know how
Hello.
to use the chat box?
Me, I can't find mine. I don't know how to.
I don't
Okay,
know.
come to. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can you see my cursor?
Your cursor. Okay, yes.
This is where you'll find it. So let's. Okay, thank you, Michael Oluwakayode. Business analyst must have a strong okay, fine. Agba. A business analyst bridge the gap between stakeholders. Very good. Olamide, thank you. A business analyst is a bridge between stakeholders and IT teams. That is very good and wonderful. Thank you very much. So we'll continue from there. So having discussed and explained briefly what a business analyst is, then we briefly talk about key responsibilities of a business analyst. Like I've earlier said, you can be hired in any industry. So if you are a business analyst, I can assure you, and you know what you're doing, there is no way you will not get a job. You can even be in Nigeria and be working in the United States. You can be in Nigeria and be working in UK, Canada. So there is no way you will not get a job because the role is needed and required everywhere. Those that have their operations already digitalized, they are still improving on daily basis. Those that they have their operation that they're still using the conventional and traditional ways of doing things are also transiting into tech. You understand? So the role of a business analyst is very, very sought after. So I can assure you, once you know what you're doing, there is no way you will not get a job. So what are the responsibilities of a business analyst? Let's start one after the other. Gathering requirements. So one of the things that you will do as a business analyst is to gather requirements. Okay, you discuss with all the stakeholders, the project owner or the organization owner, as the case may be. Okay, we have identified this gap. This is where you are having problems. This is, excuse me, this is where we need to improve. So what do you need to do? What do you want the new system that will propose? What do you want the system to do for you? Okay, the users. Okay, let's say for instance, we are now changing from using a paper card in our hospital to a web app where you just come, you tell us the card number, we'll bring out your details on the system. I am the receptionist now in this case. I am the system user in that case. So what are my requirements? Okay, I have to log in first. When I log in, I have to collect your hospital number. I will prompt it to get it. So you gather all of these requirements after you have identified the gap, after you have identified the areas where we need to improve. So one primary responsibility is what? To collect requirements from all necessary stakeholders, the project owner, the users, the employee, even the customers, as the case may be. So this may involve what? Conducting interviews, questionnaire, workshop, surveys to determine the project requirements and goal. So the very first responsibility is to gather all of these requirements. I am sure majority of these things may sound new to you, but trust me, as time goes on and as you get along with us, you understand that all of these things are pretty simple. I used to tell majority of my students that, you see, anything that you see someone that is doing and you now feel like, wow, this person is doing well, and you actually wish you are that person has paid the price. So if you can also pay the price, you can actually do more than that person. And I always tell them, that person is just a human being just like you. So if that person can do very well, you can as well do very well. So all of this English, do not let them scare you. They are pretty simple things that you can actually get. Just follow us and put your mind in it. In the next 3 months, in fact, you will be better than me, I can assure you, you understand. So after gathering these requirements, the next thing you need to do is to analyze the information or the data that you have gathered. So as a business analyst, you analyze the data, the documents, the information to identify maybe there are some certain trends or patterns or potential issues that could have effect on the business or the project. And this is why we are going to teach you a whole lot about Microsoft Excel, about Power BI, about SQL, so that you can use all of these tools in analyzing your data. After you have analyzed this data, another thing that is required of you is to document requirements. So after the analysis, then you document your findings and requirements using various techniques such as you can use cases, you can use user stories, process flow charts, and data models. All of these things we are going to teach you in details and you will understand it very well. So after you have documented the requirement, Then you design solution and recommendation. You understand? So you have identified the gap, you have identified the area that required improvement, then you have gathered the necessary requirement from all stakeholders. I've explained before that stakeholders are who? They are those that are key and important in a particular project. And I cited an example of an hospital that, okay, the stakeholders in our hospital will be what? The hospital owner. The hospital owner might not even be working there. So the hospital owner, the hospital manager, doctors, nurses, and even the patient. Then you analyze all of the information that you have gathered from them. You document it. Then you design solution and recommendation. So business analysts collaborate with IT team. After you've gathered and document all of these things, then you now collaborate with the IT team to design appropriate solution. So in other words, you are the mouthpiece of the stakeholders to the IT team. You communicate what the stakeholders want to the IT team. Do we understand? So you collaborate with IT team to design appropriate solutions that align with business goals, putting into consideration various factors such as cost, feasibility, and impact on operations. So having had the necessary requirements, having analyzed it, having documented it, then you collaborate with IT team so that they can design appropriate solution that will align with the business goal. I told us the other time that every business, they have their goals, they have their objectives. But while we are doing this, we must have put into consideration various factors such as cost, the possibility of that solution, and the impact on the operations. You cannot say, okay, because we want to transit from the conventional and traditional ways to having a digital processes, then your recommendation will now be so expensive that the organization cannot even be able to afford it. You understand? So these are the basic requirements of business analyst. Another important requirement is stakeholders management. I have cited now that we have different type of stakeholders, and you agree with me that we are all human beings. Human management is something that is very, very difficult. So as a business analyst, you must ensure that you're building and managing relationship with stakeholders. Why? So that they can give you the required information so that you can get your project done in good time. So the stakeholders could include customers, end users, project managers, developers, all of these people. So as part of your role as a business analyst is management of all of these key stakeholders so that you can ensure that they are engaged and informed, because their engagement is very, very crucial for the project success. So stakeholders management is another key responsibility of a business analyst. We also have risk management. There is risk in everything that we do, you understand? So as a business analyst, you must be able to identify and analyze any risk and issues that could actually jeopardize the success of your project. When you identify and analyze all of this risk, you must as well establish a risk mitigation method so that you don't get your project hooked in the middle of the way, so that you can ensure that your project is a success. And lastly, I will talk about change management. Part of your role as a business analyst is change management. You have to be involved in change management by helping organization transition smoothly to new processes or systems. Now, I'll still use that example that I've been using. We have now moved from using a paper card to a digital registration where you just prompt your name and it will bring your data for us. But you believe that some people will be so rigid to change. They still want to be using that old ways. They will just tell you, bring your card, let me quickly use it instead of using computer. You understand? So as your role, as part of your role as a business analyst, you must be involved in that change that no, we have moved from these old ways of doing things. If you need me to put you through on how to use this new method, I will put you through. We have changed. We are no longer using the old ways of doing things. So this change management is also part of the role of a business analyst. As a business analyst, some skills are very, very important. So what are the essential skills and qualifications that is required of you as a business analyst? Let's go into it one after the other. The very first one is analytical skills. What do I mean by analytical skills? It simply means that you must be able to break down complex problems and data, recognize patterns, and generate insight that can inform decision making. Okay, the project owner has called you or has employed you as a business analyst, and he has told you all lots of things that okay, this is what we are having in our business. This is the challenges. These are the challenges that we are having. These are the areas where we need to improve. You will now go over it as a business analyst that okay, fine. As I was saying, analytical skills is important. Communication skill is also important. Then your problem solving skill is important as well. Then we have technical skill, interpersonal skills, business and industry knowledge are very, very important skills of a business analyst. Because we are constrained with time, I will quickly round up. And I want to believe and hope that we'll still have more time so that we can delve into all of these things in details. But in summary, to cap all what I've said, to cap it all, a business analyst, as I've explained, is just a gap, bridging the gap between the stakeholders and the IT team. And I can assure you that if you embark on this journey, all of these things that may seem as big grammars are going to be broken down into very simple terms, and you would really, really enjoy it. And if you come along with us, you would definitely get a job in any industry. So far, you know what you're doing. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you've been able to gain one or two things. Thank you very much. I'll stop sharing my screen now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashiru Adekunle. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. I would like to welcome Mr. Ayomide, who is a data engineer with several years of lecturing experience in the industry. Thank you, Mr. Adekunle.
I welcome you all to today's masterclass. As you can see, please, like I said, everybody should thumbs up if you can hear me, please.
All right.
All right. Thank you. So, my name is Ayomide. I'm a data engineer with several years of experience, and I'm going to be discussing with you some certain interesting things today about this particular data tech department. You know, when you're talking about data engineer, it's a very, very interesting aspect of tech that people are very, let me say, I don't want to use the word scared, but people don't really want to explore because of certain things they've heard. Yes, the dismissing things they've heard about it. So I'm not here to clear your opinion, to clear everything as regards what you've known, or those maths you thought you known about data engineering. So, like I said, my name is Ayomide. I'm a data engineer with several years of experience. So I'm thrilled to be here tonight to talk about this topic, which is both fascinating and crucial to today's data-driven world. Please, I just want to enable that you guys can hear me very well because it's very important. I want to dispel the myth that data engineering is an insurmountable challenge because a lot of us have seen data engineer as an insurmountable challenge. I want to encourage you all that you have to consider the role of a data engineering training, especially within our DeeMICH TECH company. It's going to tell a lot because I can assure you one thing, I can tell you for free that the end of it is gold. When I say gold, when I say new oil money, that is just very deep. You just have to understand that. So basically, my presentation is going to be in form of this. I'm going to be given an illustration of what a data engineer is. Then I'm going to be introducing you to the field of data engineer. So I'll discuss with you the landscape of data engineer. So I'm also going to be throwing light on the misconception about the data engineer. Then as well, I will tell you the reason why you need to choose this particular data engineer training as as your choice, because I will tell you for free. That's the best you could get out there. So now, without wasting much of our time, because my time is limited, I just want to give you an illustration of what a data engineer is. Because I could perceive that majority of us are just new into the tech world. When I started then as well, I was new, and I can tell you for free that you don't need to have a background of computer science to actually be into this tech space. We are okay. They do a lot of coding and all that, but I can tell you, my major degree when I went to university was psychology. Yeah, so I transitioned from psychology into tech, and eventually I was fine. So who says that you cannot also be fine? So now I want to give you an illustration of what a data engineer is. I'm always interested in a usable knowledge. What I'm going to be dishing out to you is what you want to hear, and certain things that are valid as far as this text base is concerned. You understand? I want you to imagine an engineer in this regard. So I'm going to be giving this illustration. Imagine you have a big box of colorful building blocks. We all know blocks makes up the building. And each block is like a piece of information. Let's see that each block as a piece of information, or let's see each block as a data. So let's say you want to build a tall and amazing tower. We all know what tower is with these blocks, you understand? So a data engineer is like a super helpful friend who makes sure you have all the right blocks you need to build this tower. And we also make sure that these blocks are not only just what it is. We also ensure that they are clean, they are not broken, and they are easy to stack upon each other. When I say stack upon, there's no how we can construct a tower without stacking a block on top of each other. So we data engineers do this by first picking up the block. I'm just giving this perfect illustration to give you an insight on what data engineering is all about and what data engineering is. You understand? So we see it in this regard that we are picking these blocks from different places and putting them in the right order, like arranging them by color. You understand? Oh, this one fits here, this one doesn't fit here. What best places am I supposed to put this block to actually achieve the result, the desired result I want? So then we make sure all blocks fit together nicely. So finally, we help people to stack the block one by one to build that tall tower that you require to be. So in a simple word, like I said, data engineer will collect, we organize, and we arrange the data, just like building a tower like I did with the colorful block. You understand? So that everyone can use this information easily. And when I'm talking about everyone using this information easily, I'm talking about the other department of tech, like the data analysis, the data scientists, because they are the end user of whatever tool we are building with our data. You understand what I mean in this regard? So that's just an illustration of what the data engineering what we do. So let me just give you an introduction to data engineering. You understand? So if you're enjoying this class, if you get my illustration perfect, can you just give me a thumbs up, please? I just want to know people that are following what I'm trying to give. Thumbs up, thank you. So data engineer is the backbone of any successful data-driven organization. Data engineer. We are the backbone of any successive data-driven organization. Our field focuses on collecting, not collecting alone. We collect data, we store, and we process the data to make it accessible, reliable, and ready for analysis. My fellow colleagues was here talking about data analysis in the past, a couple of minutes ago, and he was able to give you a very good account of what data analysis entails. So what do is that we collect the data from different sources, we store this data, and we process this data to make it accessible for and reliable for analysis. And who are the people that perform analysis? Data analysis and data science. So in a world where data today is called the new oil, and when we say data is called the new oil, the data engineering is at the top, at the apex of that. You can imagine, because like I said when I started, I'm going to be giving you what you want to hear, because the goal why we are here is to make more money, and that is the truth. If we are saying we want to transition into tech, want to do something to that, the end goal is to actually make more money and live that better life we have been dreaming about ourselves. And I can actually tell you that that better life you have been dreaming about is around the corner if you can actually follow the steps and you can take your time to enroll into this particular role of a data engineer. So now, before I go deeply into what the landscape entails, and when I talk about landscape, I'm talking about what data engineering really does. You understand? I would like to talk about the kind of pay, the kind of salaries data engineer command out there. The salary of a data engineer varies significantly depending on factors. There are factors that determine the salary of a data engineer, such as factors such as location, maybe where you are, your experience, your experience, the specific industry you're working for, and the size and the reputation of the employer that employs you. However, I can provide you an overview of salary range that data engineer can command in the market. And that's just the end goal. Like I said when I begin, the end product of data engineer is gold, is actually gold. So now, imagine me telling you here, and that is just a fact, an entry-level data engineer with little or to no experience can expect to earn an annual salary of about $50,000 to $90,000 within the United States, if you are in that environment. And if you are within the UK, someone who is a junior data engineer can command a salary of at least £60,000 annually. Is that not fascinating? Is that not what we have been dreaming about? So, and that is just a junior. And a mid-level data engineer will always do more. You understand? I have a friend who is a data engineer. What does he do? He's right there in Lagos. He works remotely with certain US-based companies. You understand? He works 8 hours in a day, and he hangs. If I tell you the figures this guy is doing, you understand? Even the guys that are in big companies like Deloitte, like KPMG, like Flutterwave, they cannot command that level of income. You understand? You guys do 6 figures and above. And the strict aspect of it is that you can actually do much more than that in terms of having 2 jobs running, depending on how prepared you are for this particular course. So, and it also depends on your amount you're going to earn, depends on the experience you have. And if you have much more experience as an engineer, you can command salary as much as about $130,000, about $150,000 annually in the United States. And that figure is not far-fetched if you're in the UK. If you're in Nigeria, imagine you're earning in dollars and you're spending in naira. You can imagine, you all understand the physical things as far as Nigerians are concerned. So my message to you is that there are a lot of high command of salary you can earn as a data engineer. So I don't want you to have in your mind that, data engineering is tough as some people have portrayed it. It is not tough. And I'm going to simplify the process for you to know that enrolling in a data engineering training is the best decision you can ever make. You understand? So, what are the data engineering landscape? Now, what do I mean by landscape? I mean, what data engineering, what do they do? What does the field, what does it entail? You understand? So we are going to be taking this one step after the other. So the data engineering involves various key components, you understand, and concepts. Number one is data collection. You understand? We data engineer are responsible for gathering data from diverse sources, such as maybe different database, from sensor, from APIs and more. You understand? So we can get data from the web, we can script web. You know what the most fascinating thing about data engineering is that there are different aspects of data engineering that you can focus on. You understand? In the regard, if you focus on it, you can still get your money. You understand? A perfect example of that is talking about analytical engineer. There's what we call analytical engineer. This analytical engineer not necessarily needs to use to write code using Python, but they have to be SQL. When I'm saying Python, SQL, those are some of the tools that we use. You know, so as you embark on this journey, they're going to see how simple we can approach all these tools and make it do the magic that we want them to do. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, like I said, data engineer, we collect data from different sources. You can get data from the web, you can get it from APIs, if you want details about this, just enroll for the program and we are going to give details about it. You understand? All from different databases. So what do we do with this data that we get from all these databases? Imagine that you use Twitter every day. You use Facebook every day. Imagine the amount of data that goes in the back end, that every second, every minute from Facebook and Twitter, every tweet is given a particular data into the back end. You understand? So how do we analyze all these things? So our goal is to collect this data, then transform this data. The data isn't always in the right format for analysis when we collect them. So what we data engineer do is that we transform it into a structured and usable form. Yes, we get this data, all this gibberish that have been collected from all these APIs, from the web, we transform, we clean it, we make it ready, we put it in a frame, we make it ready for you. You know? So, and who are the people that will use it? The end users are the data analysts, the data scientists, where they can plug in their Tableau or Power BI to actually make analysis and make some certain business-driven decisions for the organization. So once we collect the data, we transform the data, then we also store the data, which we call data storage. So, and what does data storage entail? It involves choosing the right storage solution. We could use database our storage, we could use data lakes, cloud storage. Doing things in the cloud is just the advanced data engineering and to store large volumes of data efficiently. So we ensure data quality as well. We ensure data quality. And what do I mean by data quality? We ensure that our data that is coming in is accurate, is consistent, and trustworthy. You understand? So specifically, the major thing data engineers do is that we build what we call data pipelines. And when you're talking about data pipelines, it entails collecting data, transforming it, and loading it. So we have an automated process that moves data from the source where we got it from to the destination where we want it, where our end users can actually take it from that. So there's this demystifying demystifying data engineering. That is, when I say demystifying, I'm talking about the misconception about this particular field, which I would like to address. You understand? So there's a misconception that data engineering is too tough for most people. Why? In the right sense of it, data engineering requires some technical skills. Yes, I won't lie to you. It requires some technical skills. But the fact that you are transitioning from any field, if you have gone to university to study Yoruba, I can assure you can transition to data engineering. I myself did psychology when I was in school, but over several months, I got into I transitioned into data engineer, and I was thanking God for it. Today, I know where I am with it. You get what I'm trying to say? So what I'm trying to say is that it is true that data engineering requires some technical skills. It is not insurmountable challenge. No, not at all. It is not rocket science. It is what is achievable. In fact, Data engineering can be broken down into manageable steps. And I will take these steps one after the other. You understand? So now, let's start with the basics of data engineering. You don't need to be an expert from day one. No, you don't need that. Just begin with the fundamental concepts like getting familiar with your databases, the scripting, and the data format. You understand? When I'm talking about data format, we have data in CSV format, we have the briefing, and many more. You get to know much more of that by the time you go into these improvements. So now, another thing is learn from experts. And that is what this particular company has provided you. Join this training program today. Like this, what we are offering you with DeeMICH TECH company. I can assure you, we have experienced instructors who can guide you through the learning process. It's not going to be tough. It could be technical, I can assure you that, but it's not going to be tough. So, and another thing you need is hands-on experience. The best way to learn is by doing it, devoting time for it. You know, as a data engineer, the most important thing that can actually get you going is to work on real-world projects to gain practical experience. And how do you gain practical experience? By working with real-world projects and doing a lot of practices. And all these processes you are going to get from DeeMICH. So, and continuous learning, like I emphasized, data engineering field requires continuous learning because this particular field that we are, it involves every day. So you have to stay up to date with the latest tools and technologies that we see. That sounds interesting. So my question is, why do you have to choose DeeMICH TECH for data engineering training? Why? I'll tell you for free. I have to tell you why you should consider enrolling in data engineering training with this our company. Number one, we have expert instructors. Our instructors are experienced data engineers who will provide practical insights and mentorship. You understand? Everything you require to be an up-to-date data engineer, you find here. We guide you through the process, and I can show you at the end of the day, you're going to thank God. So we are going to provide you with real-world projects. We're going to work on projects that mirrors the challenges data engineers faces in the industry. I can tell you that for free. Then we have prepared a comprehensive curriculum which cover all the essential topics, ensuring that you have a well-rounded knowledge of data engineering. We have supportive community. So how you happen to join DeeMICH TECH today means that you're becoming part of a supportive and collaborative community of learning. And most importantly, the job opportunities. The jobs are there. Data engineer is a high demand. Let me say it is hot cake. Hot cake. Every company requires several data engineers to work in their organization. This makes it more interesting in the sense that this organization needs more hands in the job. They need more hands. So that is what makes this particular aspect of tech high demanding. So if you could manage to enroll for our program and you complete our program, this will open doors to a range of exciting career opportunities for you. Like I said, the tech company, data engineer as a tech department gives you different kind of opportunities. Some are majors, web scripters. All they do is that they script the web. They get information from the web. They extract, they transform, and they load. All their focus is web scripting. Some people within the data engineering community, all they do is that they don't write code. They are involved in analytical engineering. They just make analysis as far engineering field is concerned. And we have some people that they get data from APIs and many more. And to enroll for this program, all these details will be shared with you. And so most importantly, the job opportunities, the jobs are there. They are there in the market. You just have to ensure that you are prepared. And what are the things you need? What are the things you need? I mean, I will characterize that as the trait of a data engineer. What are the traits of it? What are the things which you see in you that will ensure that, oh, you are prepared for this training? You have to have what we call analytical mindset. So data engineers have a strong analytical mindset in the sense that We can break down complex problems. We can identify patterns in data and find efficient solutions to data-related challenges. We want to provide solutions for every problem as far as data is concerned. Another trait you need to portray to get ready for this role is your attention to details. Precision is critical in data engineering. I won't lie to you. Data engineer must pay attention to the smaller details to ensure that data accuracy and quality. To ensure data accuracy and quality, you need attention to details. Then another important skill, or let me say trait, is that you must have a problem-solving skill. You must be determined. You shouldn't be a type of person that gets dieseled out easily. No, no, that will not help you. We are skilled problem solvers. Skilled problem solvers. So when data issue arises, data engineer are adept at diagonizing what the problem is and devising effective solutions. You have to work, you have to have that problem solving skill. Then not necessarily because if you really want to go far, and I can assure you, the coding proficiency is there. Yeah. And step by step, taking the baby step one after the other, you will get through this process and you realize that the coding aspect of data engineer, which you perceive to be very tough, is not even that tough. Outside data engineer, before I enroll, I actually used to see things differently. I used to see, when I was in secondary school, I have friends from computer science department. Ever since then, I've been hearing about Python. I used to see it as a big deal. But when I enroll into this field, I start to take the baby steps and now realize that, oh, it is doable. This thing is not that difficult, even though I do not have computer science background. So coding proficiency also speaks good volume or gives good account of you. But like I analyzed earlier, it's not every part of data engineering that needs you to have that coding proficiency. But if you have it, of course, like we are going to simplify it for you, is going to be beneficial. So data engineering typically have strong programming skills and language like Python, maybe Java, Scala, and SQL. These are some of the tools we use. So these skills are they are vital, of course, for data processing. Maybe you are processing ETL. What I mean by ETL? Extracting data, transforming the data, and loading the data into the database. You understand? Then having the database knowledge also helps. Then big data technologies, and this is where the money is. The big data technologies. So you have to get familiarized with big data technologies such as using Adobe, the Spark, the Apache, the Kafka, which are essential for managing large-scale data. All these we are going to simplify for you in steps. At the end of the day, you're going to thank us for actually enrolling for data engineer within our DeeMICH Tech company. So you need your ETL expertise as a trait. So the collaboration skill you have, and the continuous learning. That's why we were saying in the chat group a couple of days ago that you need a ready learning mind, continuous learning. We never stop learning. So these are just the traits you need to process. And data engineer can work in several companies like technology companies, like e-commerce companies, financial companies. Talk about Amazon, talk about Facebook, talk about Google. There are eBay, Flutterwave, Alibaba. We have data engineering there to drive the business. Healthcare providers, telecommunications, entertainment and media houses. So in my conclusion, I'm just going to be concluding what I've been talking about so far. So data engineering is not an unattainable skill. It is rewarding and essential fit into the data-driven world. So by taking the first step and enrolling for data engineering training with the DeeMICH TECH company, you'll be embarking on a journey that can lead you to a fulfilling and well-compensated career. I can assure you that. So remember, the data engineer of today were once beginners like me. I, as a person, I was once a beginner. So with dedication and the right training, you can become a data engineer expert too. So thanks for your attention, everyone. I encourage you all to explore the world of data engineering with the DeeMICH TECH. Thank you.
Thank you very
Over to
much,
you,
Mr.
Adiba.
Victor. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor, for impacting us with your knowledge. We really appreciate that. I would like to add that You see, there's one thing about tech. You see, tech companies are no need to wait till tomorrow before joining into tech or enrolling into tech or learning one or two things into in tech actually, because you see every community is tending to go towards tech. Everybody's wanting to learn tech, so no need to wait till tomorrow. You have to learn tech today, because one of the advantage of learning any course into tech, mostly business analytics, data science and all, because you have job opportunities, high salary, travel opportunity, and so many more, which you can also work from your house. There are so many advantages of tech, of going into tech. You can also check that online. So please, I want you all to pick one or two courses to go into tech. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor, once again. I would like to welcome Mr. Fayikemi Akomolafe. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Who is a data analyst, and she's also a senior data analyst in well-known Nigerian company. With several years of experience in data analysis and and scientist, she's a mechanical engineer by training, but a data enthusiast by person. Please let's welcome Mrs. Fayikemi. Actually, I'm really sorry.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, let me try to share my screen first. Hello, everybody. Once again, my name is Fayikemi. I'll be not to waste our time. I'll be taking us through mastering data analysis in the next couple of minutes. So today we'll be talking about, I will introduce data analysis to us, the roles of a data analyst, the required skills and tools needed to be a data analyst, and the key benefit of attending our master class. Also, we talk about who should attend the class and what is needed for this class. So, the main question, what is data analysis? We talk about data analysis, we hear data analyst, data analysis. So what really is data analysis? So data analysis is the process of collecting, cleaning, and transforming data into useful information. You'll be wondering what's the whole grammar, what I'm saying, to make it easy to bring it home to us. I don't know if we are conversant with jigsaw puzzle. Maybe when we're small, we use jigsaw puzzle. If you've used it before, can you give me a thumbs up? I want to be sure that I'm communicating. Okay, so I'll use that to illustrate what data analysis is about. You could, as you can see, on the screen, you know how this jigsaw puzzle is. When it is pieces, it doesn't make sense to you. You don't know where you're starting from. That is how data is. But it is a data analyst that will bring it together and transform it to make meaningful information, to give meaningful information. Just as you can see this picture, you can see the pieces there are all scattered, but by the time it's brought together, it's looking beautiful. That's just to bring it home in layman term what data analysis is about. So what data, as I said again, it is the process of extracting meaningful insight, which could be such as hidden pattern, market trends, and customers' preference from data to give meaningful information to stakeholders. Why is data analysis so important today? Let's ask ourselves that question. There are different reasons why data analysis is important in the world today. This is a global age, it is a digital world we are in now. There are a lot of data everywhere. Even this, as we are taking this meeting now, we are generating data. All of us that are in this meeting, we generated more than 2,000 data today. I'm sure we've called our friends, we've watched television, we've sent messages. Even in our WhatsApp group, we send messages. Those are data that we're generating. So why is data analysis important today? Number one, it helps to make informed decisions. Um, it helps stakeholders, companies to make smart decisions based on facts. When we are talking about data analysis, we don't deal with guesswork or try and error. It's from the data, the data that is provided that that a data analyst will make analysis to give inform informed decision to make informed decision. Also, for problem solving, data analysis provide insights that can solve complex issues in various fields. For example, in a company, let's talk about maybe okay for next week. I'm sure we are all conversant with Netflix. If assuming the owner of Netflix notice that there is actually a reduced subscription on the platform, it is a data analyst that will take the informations that have been generated from Netflix to find out what is the problem, to check trends, customers' preference, and the rest to give the stakeholders to give them the to give them insight on what the problem is likely to be, and from there to be able to make informed decision, and it will help the company. From that, it let us we move to the next point. It also help business to succeed. So with the data that is available, when data analysis is conducted on it on those data, it helps companies to understand their customers, to improve their product, and to stay competitive in the market that they are in. Also, another reason why data analysis is important is that I'm sure when we most time when we use our phones, our smartphone, our internet, I'm sure you notice sometimes maybe you maybe you browse about a footwear, you browse and next thing you just see that you just see pop up. Everything you're seeing is about footwear. It's data analysis that does that. So it helps to make personalized recommendation on the favorite websites, apps, and the rest. Also, it also help in scientific discovery all over the world. That's just to mention a few importance of data analysis. So next we go to why data analytics is a career for you. Let's ask ourselves, why should I do data analysis? Why should I be a data analyst and the rest? Number one, data generation is at an all-time high. This is something that we cannot dispute. Data is everywhere. Data is everywhere. And so data analysis, there's always something for a data analyst to do. You can never go without a job because data is everywhere. Data analysts are in high demand because there are a lot of data that are being generated. Also, of course, there's always all of us who want to go into tech and the rest. Part of the reason why we want to go into tech is because of the salary. You want to, at least you want to upskill yourself, you want better remuneration, and data analyst, they'll earn a lot. For example, from a survey made by PayScale, it's an American company that actually um, they actually generate salaries across the nation. So from PayScale, you can see that the average salary of a data analyst in the USA is 65. It's less approximately $66 annually. I'm sure if we do the math, we see that this is actually competitive. You can see that of the for the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia. Also, there's a link. We'll be sharing this slide with you after the meeting, I guess. You can go through this link to see a report on salaries for data analysts by Glassdoor. You'll see that it's actually impressive. It's actually impressive. Okay. Um, sorry. So why we're talking about why data analysis is important today. I'm sure most of us it's just a normal human want. We don't want wherever you see yourself, you want to see that you want to see that we're making impacts. You don't want to be in a job that you're just collecting salary and you're just a figurehead there. as a data analyst, you become one of the key decision maker in wherever you're working, because stakeholders, customers, everybody will actually rely on reports from you, because you're there you're there to give them facts on what is happening. So you're not just a figurehead, they are making impact where you are. Another reason why you should consider being a data analyst is also that you can get started easily. To become a data analyst, you don't need to back to school, go back to university to start a course, to start a program, maybe a 2-year program. You can start it easily just by joining our master class. You can actually become a data analyst in a couple of months. I hope I'm not too fast. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So okay, data analysis. We're talking about rules of a data analyst. Rules of a data analyst. We start. There are now a couple of rules that a data analyst perform in an organization. First and foremost, data collection. Data collection. You're a data analyst, you need data. Data is like your raw material to do your job. So a data analyst gather data from various sources, and they ensure the data are accurate, complete, and properly organized for analysis. That will be part of your role as a data analyst. Also, you perform data cleaning and pre-processing. For it is you cannot avoid it. Any data you'll be seeing, most data that you get, raw data itself, they are messy, they are filled with a lot. When you talk about it being messy, you hear that the data is dirty, it is messy. What it actually means is that there are a lot of things that might be wrong with the data. Like you might have a lot of missing value, and maybe probably where there's meant to be dates. For example, the way our date format in Nigeria, yeah, we do day, month, year, but you can get probably the data I get here, I think in month, day, year. So definitely that data is not clean. So as a data analyst, you sit down, you are expected to actually clean the data. And when you are doing this, you are actually getting the data ready for processing. So that's part of your work as a data analyst. Okay. A data analyst also perform data analysis. So from the data you've gotten, the data analyst will use statistical and analytical techniques to identify pattern, trends, and relationship within the data. So you perform all this on the data, and this involves you running queries, applying statistical models, and employing data visualization tools to analyze the data. From there, we talk about data visualization. So because as a data analyst, you'll be dealing with technical and non-technical stakeholders. For example, a data analyst, yes, you have data, you've done all your data cleaning, you have everything. The MD of the organization will not have time to sit down and be seeing and sit down to be looking at your data. But what a data analyst do is that you make your data, you visualize your data in such a way that it will be easy for non-technical people to understand, the CEO of the company, the the stakeholders, and the rest. So as a data analyst, yeah, a data analyst will use charts, graph, and dashboard. I'm sure we're hearing dashboard, almighty dashboard here and there. You get to do that. You do the dashboard to present your finding in clear and understandable ways. So this visualization will help stakeholder to grasp the insight quickly. Unlike when you're having table, Excel table, everything here and there. It's easier when you visualize the data. Okay. As a data analyst, also you'll be involved in report generation. You create reports and summary of your analysis, which may include actionable recommendation for decision makers. So as a good data analyst, you should not just be about showing the problem, just giving them visualization of the what you have. You also, as a good data analyst, you should be able to make recommendations to your company. That's what will make you standard when you're able to give recommendations that can help the company to move forward. Also, data analysts also give business insights. Then some business insights is close to report generation in that data analysts will provide critical insights that will help organization make informed decision. So from informed decision and to achieve business goals. So from the reports they generally have done, you see the data analyst will dive into the data to give insights to what is really happening in the organization or in the business. Also, at times, depending on where you're working, sometimes you might be required to give predictive modeling. So some data analysts engage in predictive modeling using historical data to make forecasts about future trends or outcome. So what we mean by predictive modeling, just like the word said, predictive, with what the data that is the data that is being analyzed. As a data analyst, you should be able to check through the trend and be able to predict, okay, the next couple of months, because what have happened in the last 6 months, in the last 12 months, like you can predict that, okay, in the next 2 3 months this will happen, because you've been able to analyze the data. Also, a data analyst should be good in storytelling. It's not about what you can. It's, as a data analyst, apart from having beautiful visualization, analyzing the data perfect, you should also be able to present your finding in an interesting way that will not bore your stakeholder. Are you with me? If you are with me, please let me see some thumb up. Let me know that we're following. Okay, thank you. Also, as a good data analyst, you should also be involved in continuous learning. A data analyst must keep up with the latest tool and technique in data analysis and maintain a good understanding of the industry that you are working in. We don't want to be let me put it in our local term, a local champion. You should move with the trend. You should move with what is happening. So you not just be left behind. So you should be involved in continuous learning. Also, a data analyst, you'll be involved in cross-functional collaboration, like you've heard from our data engineer and our business analyst. You could see that they're all mentioning data analyst as part of people that they work with. So as a data analyst, you also collaborate with people from different departments to get your work to get your work done. Also, there was the ethnical consideration. um Data analysts need to be aware of the ethical concern related to data, such as privacy and security, and to ensure that their work complies with relevant regulations. Because you'll be involved with data, there are some data that might be sensitive. As a data analyst, you should not be loose with such information. You should be able to follow the what they call it, the policy that goes with the data you are working with. Also, problem solving. Data analysts are problem solvers. They tackle complex issue by dissecting data and finding solution. Your main work is that you have to get solution to a problem. So that's the role of that's in simple terms, those are the role of a data analyst. We talk about the roles and the rest. You need to be asking yourself, what are the required tools and skills that are needed to perform your work as a data analyst. So those skills are they are in three parts. We have the technical skills, the analytical skills, and the communication skills. So first we start with the technical skills. As data analyst, you should be able to work with Microsoft Excel. These are part of the tools that are used to do your analysis. You do things like pivot table. You use your pivot table to make your graph and the charts. You will do all the function like VLOOKUP and the rest. It might be sounding complex now, but I assure you they are not difficult. So far as you are ready, you are willing to learn. It's not rocket science. It's something that is attainable. Also, you should have tactical programming language skills, so you'll be able to use things like Python and R. They might be sounding big now, but trust me, it's something. When you start, you see it as easy peasy. So don't get scared. Also, you should be able to use database and SQL, data management, data visualization. There are tools that you use. such as the Microsoft Power BI, Excel, like I said earlier on, and Tableau. Also, in some cases, you'll be required to know a little bit about machine learning, depending on the where you're working. So knowing one or two things about machine learning can be a plus also. We'll talk about the analytical skills. So as a data analyst, you should be good with critical thinking. You should be able to think well. You should be alert, you should be sharp. You should also be a problem solver. You should be able to pay attention to details. We are dealing with data. There are some hidden, like I said, in data, there are hidden stories in data. So as data analyst, you should be able to pay attention to details. Then you should know a bit about statistics, and also you should be knowledgeable about the business, the business sector you are working with. If you are working in a logistic or transport organization, you should be able to understand the organization. You should not just be so you'll be able to actually perform well in your role. Also, as a data analyst, like I said, you'll be reporting you'll be reporting your findings to stakeholders. So you should be good with collaboration. You cannot work on your own. You need information from the data engineer. You need to the business analyst will meet you to follow up on what you are doing. So you should be a good collaborator. Then you should also be good with your public speaking and your verbal skill. You should be able to speak well in public, be articulate and the rest. Then you also be good with your report writing. Your report should not just be your report should not be just be over all over the place. You should be able to sorry. Your report should not be just all over the place. You should be able to it should be it should flow in a way that people understand what you're trying to say. We're almost done. Sorry. And we're taking time. So what are the key benefits of attending our master class? We've spoken about what data analysts do, the skills needed, everything. Now, what are the key benefits of attending our master class? If you attend our master class, you'll be able to learn how to extract valuable insight from data. Like we said, this is very key with your job role. We teach you how to how to be a critical thinker. We help you with your problem solving skills to be able to extract valuable insights from data. Also, it help your career advancements. You can gain skills that will boost your career in tech and data. Also, you'll be taught by you'll be taught by practical experience to on hands-on experience with real world data. It's not just about it's not we are going to be using real world data sets, so things that you see actually in the industry. You'll be taught with that, and we have instructors that will put you through that. Also, during our master class, you'll be able to network, you'll be able to connect with like-minded professionals and peers, because you'll be able to join our community and to build relationship with others. So when you eventually dive into your data analytics job, you will not be left behind. When you're having issues here and there, you'll be able to reach out to people based on the connection that you would have built with joining our master class. Okay. Next thing, the main question is who can attend the master class. So far as you love data, you're interested in data, this class is for you. If you're aspiring to be a data analyst, this class is for you. Also, people that are already in the field that you're looking on how to upskill yourself, you are invited to join the class. There's always something to learn. Trust me, it is not a waste of time. You actually thank yourself for joining the master class. Okay, then what are the things that you need to join the class? First and foremost, you need a working laptop, because it's not going to be theory. We're doing practical. It's a practical class. So that is part of the benefit of joining the master class. We're doing it's a practical class. It's not something that is abstract. You actually be building the dashboard yourself. You also need a good internet connection, so you'll be able to follow through the class. Because the class is actually virtual, then important, you should be determined. First, you have a willing and a ready mind, then come with it, and you will be glad you did. So that is the end of what I have to present. Not to take a lot of our time. I hope you'll be able to get one or two things from what I've said. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Blakem. Thank you very much. So I would like to invite Mr. Ashiru back because there are so many people that did not get to understand him. So I would like to invite him back.
Okay, fine. It is very good as you listen to facilitators and data analysis and data engineering, because all of these things sometimes they work hand in hand. So as I was saying the other time, so part of the skills that you will be required is communication skills. Considering the fact that you need to serve as a middleman between the stakeholders and the IT team. So it is very, very important that you are very good in the effective communication, how to ask questions, how to interview people, and how to also present yourself in terms of probably documentation and presenting to both stakeholders and IT teams. So communication skill is very, very important, as well as problem solving skills. You understand? Because as I've earlier said, you'll be given a very big problems. You have to dissect it and analyze it. So it is important that you are very good in problem solving skills. However, all of these things are what will come as you go through your learning process. You understand? All of these things, they are not what people bring from heaven. It is from this earth that you get all of these things. So as you continue through this journey, you just in your own subconscious mind, you just notice that you're developing your communication skills, your problem solving, and all of these things. Another important skill is technical skills, because you want to serve as a middleman between the IT and the stakeholders team. Fine, why we are not expecting you to write code, why we are not expecting you to develop app, but at least what you want to communicate, you must have an idea of it, you understand? So that you will not be giving a wrong information to business owners and the stakeholders, you understand? So you are expected to have a little idea of all of these things. You are not expected to work as programmers, but you should have a good understanding uh, of technology and the ability to work with technical teams, you understand? So that when they speak the language, you have a grasp of what they're talking about. And also, it is also important you have interpersonal skills. You have to relate with people, discuss with different stakeholders. These are the people that will help you achieve success in your project. So you must ensure you have interpersonal skills. And like I said, once you are engaged in a project, once you get to your place of work, you will just see that you are actually developing all of these skills, even if you are not conscious of it. So another thing is business and industry knowledge. So business analysts must have a good understanding of business processes, industry trends, and best practices to effectively assess and recommend improvement. Do we understand? So these are just the basic things that are required of you, and the basic the explanation of what business analyst is all about. So in conclusion, the business analyst plays an important role in today's changing business environment. They act as catalysts for organizational growth and improvement. Like I earlier explained, it's all about transitioning from the old, the traditional, the conventional ways of doing things to what the world is saying now. And those that are already operating in the tech industry, because process is something that you will always have room for improvement. You understand? You cannot have 100% process that does not require any improvement. So once you improve today, tomorrow there will still be something that you need to improve on. So business analysts' ability to comprehend complicated business processes, elicit needs, and offer effective solutions is critical in driving successful projects and meeting company objectives. So by using their analytical and communication abilities, business analysts enhance cooperation and bridge gap between business and technology, and contribute to the overall success of an organization. So as I was saying the other time, there is no way once you know what you're doing that you will finish as a business analyst and you will not get a job, because the role is required and needed in every sector. When she was talking about data analysis the other time, she told you that data is needed by everyone because nobody wants to take decision based on, I guess, based on let's just risk it. Everybody, every right thinking organization want to make data driven decision. They must have reason why they are taking this. Okay, I have a supermarket. If I don't have data, how will I know that this is my best goods that my customers are always looking for? You understand? So everybody wants to take data-driven decision, and that is why it is very, very important that you consider your transition into the tech world. So I want to ensure you that you've actually made a very, very right decision because to be honest, this is where the world is going today. I used to tell my students that
Exactly.
anybody that does not have an idea or that does not have a knowledge of computer, knowledge of tech today, in the next 10, 15 years, if we are still alive, the person will not be relevant because that is where the world is going today. So I want to encourage you that as you have started this journey, you should just ensure that you get it right and you continue with us. I want to assure you that you can never regret this decision that you are about to take. So thank you very much. If you have any question, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, for those of us that have questions, please come up and answer your question. I'll be calling Miss Shelley Pamileri for your questions, please.
Okay. From the last facilitator, what is the differences between business analyst and data analyst? Is there any differences between them, between the two?
Yes, there is. And let me explain in a very simple term. You see, at times the way organizations are structured, they differ a bit from one another. So as a business analyst, your role includes analyzing data after you've identified a gap. Okay, this is what we need to improve. You get the data, you analyze it. It is now from this data that you've analyzed, you can recommend solution. When you recommend this solution, then you can now discuss with IT team. You understand? Your work still continue even after analyzing the data. Okay, we have now analyzed the data. This is what we need to do. So you constantly communicate between the stakeholder and the IT team. You understand? However, as a data analyst, your role may include gathering data, presenting the data in a way. There's something we call data visualization. When she was talking about data analysis the other time, you understand the fact that when you have raw data, you cannot just present it to the management in numbers. You understand? So you have to analyze it and make it look good. Maybe you might present it in dashboard for storytelling. There's something we call dashboarding and storytelling. You understand? So these are the roles of a data analyst. So in some cases, as a business analyst, let's say you have organizations that are very large enough. So data analyst might have gathered data and even present it to you as a business analyst. Then you as a business analyst will now take it up from there. You might now recommend solution and discuss with stakeholders and IT team. Do you understand the difference now?
Yes, sir.
All
I
right,
got
thank you.
it clear. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Ayodele Olusegun said, as a data analysis, what route do I start my training from?
Like I said, I'm sure you did not join. Maybe you joined late.
Yeah, he
So
joined late.
yeah, so yeah, we have a syllabus that we work with, but then you start up with learning your Excel. It's like you start from Excel. You know how to use some tools like the VLOOKUP, like the pivot chart, pivot table. So you start with the Excel, with the Excel. You can know even with your Excel, you can actually build dashboards. So you start with your Excel and then you progress to other tools like the um Tableau, the Power BI, your Python, and the rest. I hope that answers your question. It looks like a lot.
Okay.
It looks like a
So
lot
please,
saying it, but the gradual process, you get there.
do we need a laptop? Is it compulsory we have a laptop for it?
Yes. Are you talking about the training or as data analyst?
Yes,
And
yes.
because should be clear with the question, please.
Data analyst.
You need a laptop. You need a laptop.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So just to buttress on what everybody has been saying, and many thanks to Mr. Ashiru Adekule, Mr. Victor, and Mrs. Feyikemi. In the real sense, in an organization, you have all these things being interwoven, just as Mr. Ashiru said at that time, as a business analyst, as a data engineer, as a data scientist or a data analyst. Everybody works together like a circle in the organization. The whole data going around. I think Feyikemi said something about we generating data, millions of data every day. Individual as we are, we've communicated with a lot of people today on our chat, on our WhatsApp, on our phone call, and on that. All those things are data. They are meant for some people to make informed decision about how their business are faring, how to make improvement about their business and all that. You can't just sit back and be looking. There is a need for you to understand how all this thing works, which is part of our daily lives. Forgetting about the aspect of you getting a job with all these courses we're talking about, think about your personal improvement. Think about your own personal life. You can't just be there. People are talking about data, people are talking about this and that, and you cannot even contribute. Have you thought about it that, oh, anytime I go to YouTube, because I searched for Adekunle Gold the last time, the other time when I come back, I just saw my home page. You're just seeing your home page with Adekunle Gold, songs from the video, from, all those things are talking about data. We are talking about machine learning. You're talking about data. Those are the things you need to imagine. We all carry our phone and then you just look at your phone is unlocked. Then you do even think about it or you believe it's Africa magic or Africa voodoo that, unlocks your phone. These are basic things that we need to get ourselves familiar with. And these are the things you need to learn from data science, data analysis, business deals, and data engineering. So those are the basic things that has to do with our personal life. All these things has to do with our personal life that we need to be aware. We need to be aware of our environment. We need to be aware of what is happening. All these gadgets we are using, we shouldn't just be using them all alone. We need to understand why is this, why is that, and why am I having this way and all that. So it will be an interesting journey with us, like all the facilitators have said earlier. If you choose to learn with us, we will make you walk through the world of you know unending possibilities on different things, talking about you getting yourself established in the tech world, talking about you getting a job, talking about anything you can imagine, anything you can think of about the tech. And I want most of us to get away with the notion that Python is hard, coding is hard. Saw some people saying it on the group the other day that, oh, I want to learn everything, but anything that has to do with coding, I want to run away from it. It's not rocket science, just as Ashiru said at that time. It's obviously not rocket science. None of us brought anything from heaven. You don't know anything. They started teaching you at the age of 1 or 2. This is your head, this is your nose, this is your mouth, and that is how it's applicable to everything. So more or less, like when we were younger, I believe most of us have a background in Nigeria. When we were younger, they would tell you you have to write vernacular speakers' name down. Then we were forced to start speaking English. So all this Python, SQL, Jira, Excel, everything, they are just languages that we need to learn, just the way we were learning English. Don't put your mind in French because I know majority of us were running from French during elementary days. But put your mind in English that you were able to grasp, and we are all speaking now. You understand? So all these languages are just like the normal English language, the Yoruba language, the Igbo language that we learned at some point in our life, and today we are doing better with them. So let's just fix our mind into the possibility and understand that these things, they define our life, they shape our life. And if you run from them today, I can, 100% assure you it will be waiting for you at the front. In 2 years' time, 3 years' time, 4 years' time, you still have a reason to learn from, probably learn data or learn business or learn whatever. You still have a reason. So why don't you start now? Then you can redefine the tomorrow you are waiting to start. So that's just my own word of encouragement to us and the little contribution. Thanks to everyone. Thank you, Adiza, Feyikemi. Thank you, Ashiru. Thank you, Mr. Victor. And thanks to everyone for making our time to join us today. So I don't know if Adiza still have one or two things to say before we call it a day.
Yeah, thank you. So I don't know. I don't know. I just want to put it in a way that I want to put it, because I believe in today's rapidly evolving landscape, remote work and tech skills are keys to unlocking new opportunities, and mastering in-demand tech skills can empower you to earn more, adapt to changing industries, job securities, travel opportunities, and many more. So I would advise you all to go into skills, pick one or two things that you can venture into and learn more about it. And DeeMICH is here to take you through all that. We are happy to be part of your tech experience and career. And I don't know. I want to be more comfortable. I don't know if you heard one of your friends are also into tech. You'd hear this, your friend, oh, I'm into tech. You can see that they are earning very well. You can see that they are making money, working remotely from home. So I would like you all to think about what you can go to, think about what you can do. See, there is how would I say, the sky is your limit. See, you will think you can't do something, but you can actually. You understand? If you put your mind to it and you are determined, you will do it. And at the end of the day, it will benefit you a lot. You can work anywhere. You travel out of the country, you benefit more. You are in Nigeria, you also make more money anywhere in the world that you are. So please go into tech today, and DeeMICH would love to be part of your tech career. Thank you very much.
Sorry, just a quick one before you go. I don't know if Mr. Victor is still on
Yeah.
the call. Familiarin eventually came up with his question. He said, and Mr. Victor, how will you convince me to take data engineering or science over data analytics, because I think I want to go with data engineering or science?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Okay, nice having you here, Mr. Mitchell. Your question is, how can I convince you to actually choose data engineering over other data tech courses, right? Am I getting you right? Hello?
Dave,
I just want to be sure I have your question right. If you listen to me very well when I was taking the class, I highlighted some reasons why data engineering is, permit me to use the language that is at the top of the tech world. I made mention of certain things that are intriguing. I talked about the high salary demand. You happen to be a data engineer, you can as well command the level of salary that are very close to what they deem for you to be a new oil, like you're into oil company. You don't understand me? And even more. Because the more skilled you are in data engineering, the more you earn. And another thing is that this being a data engineering gives you opportunity to actually have this scope of knowledge about the data world. As a matter of fact, if you're a data engineering, you can actually assume other role. Maybe you want to be a data science, you want to be a data analyst with just learning few tools. You don't need to do much as a data engineer, just need to learn few tools that, like my colleagues have made mention of, to just add to your skills. You understand? So, and you have depth of knowledge of these with this course. So, these are the advantages that put data engineer ahead of other tech aspects. So, like I said, the high salary demand, the 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 coding experience that you have been running for, which will eventually be simpler to you, be simplified, and you are going to see that, oh, this is not actually what I this is not what I have been. This the fear I had is not actually what it is. So the high salary demand is a factor. The 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 coding experience is a factor, and most importantly, being a data engineer, you can actually transition. Maybe you choose to actually work as a data analyst. Just need to add to learn few tools because the skill set are almost similar. But as a data engineer, you just have to learn more and go into details of certain things. So those, I think, with those few points, you can actually be convinced that, oh, data engineering is the real deal. Is the real deal, and I can show you that. So I hope I answered your question, Mr. Terry.
Any
Yeah,
question, please?
thank you very much, Mr. Victor. So
Okay.
without turning the Mr. or Miss Pamela Rin's question into a debate, it's much of you know, if you're a data analyst, if you're a data engineer, if you're a data scientist, it is easy for you to switch in between all those roles. But the most important for you is just for you to get hand on any of these three. They work hand in hand together. If you're a data scientist, 100% you can work as a data analyst. That is the beautiful part of a data scientist. But if you're a data scientist or data analyst, you cannot work as a data engineer. You just have to go and, earn that skill, earn that knowledge before you can become a data engineer. And if you're a data engineer, I can assure you, you have little or less knowledge of what a data analyst or a data scientist do. So you just have to, but just the most important thing is for you to just get on board. Like, find yourself around any of these three. If you are so much interested or you are so much keen about data, just get yourself any of these three. And if you want to switch, you can switch. And you also ask how do one enroll. You can reach out to Adiza, you can reach out to Mr. Ashiru, you can reach out to any of the admins on the group if you need to. And also you can contact us via our email or our website too. So I hope that answers your question. You said your name. We murder your name again. Sorry about that.
I'm really sorry about that. Please pardon me. I'm not fully Nigerian. And also, it's time to increase your earning possibilities. It is not about hard work, but by race. Be smart. See, don't think you can't do it. You can actually do it. People that are into tech they do not have two heads. You can do it. You just have to put your mind to it. You understand? Don't just start one way and then give up. No, you can actually do it. Put your mind to it and you will earn money and be a better person with it, actually, seriously. So please, for my beginners in the house, for people that are scared, for people that have let themselves to be overwhelmed by fear, please do not be scared or have fear. You can do it. People wait inside not get too head though. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining DeeMICH. God bless you all. And we are so much happy to be part of your learning experience, and we look forward to your reviews after enrolling to our class. Thank you very much. We have come to the end of the class right now.
All
Good
right.
night,
Bye. Good
everyone.
night, everyone.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.